Independence Day too. On this proud and a valiant day, let us remember with utmost respect the great leaders and the fighters because of whom we enjoy this freedom till date. Without much ado, I would request all to rise for our national anthem. Rohit, over to you. Could you please bring up the anthem?
Yeah, sure, Shriram. I think it is audible, Shriram.
It's slightly audible. I think we can all sing it together in case if it is not much audible as well. Not a problem. Go ahead.
जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता
उच्चल जलधि तरंगा सब शुभ नामे जागे सब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल ध्यायक जय है
भारत भाग्य विधाता जय जय जय
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, everyone. So with that mood, let us get on with the topic for the day. And I have the honor to introduce both the topic as well as the speaker for today. But before I go on, certain very small mundane announcements that I need to do more from our institute perspective. Quick 3 announcements. One, as all of us know, our Kuwait chapter has a writing competition and we have requested for entries to be emailed. Please email your entries to editorialboard@icaikw.org. And the next announcement is also more related to the same. So we solicit articles from members, their spouses and children. From spouses and children, it could be in the way of art, paintings or any poems or what, which come. And we would solicit to, keep supporting it in your own large way. And finally, the fee payment for our institute. So the links have been already available. If not, we'll send it around. So I would request all members to, bring in their fee payments for the current year. Well, that's all from the institute perspective. And without much ado, let me introduce the topic for the day first. Well, the topic we all know is work-life balance. And there is a different part to it as well as to how we basically take on with this challenge in a spiritual manner. We all know that work-life balance has been a chronic issue at various workplaces. But it's chronic in all the places. It's only that the degrees could vary, perhaps, according to the industry and according to the country in which a particular person might be. But nevertheless, I think this has been a very chronic issue, among a lot of workplaces. In fact, it's one of the most important factors that people look out whenever they go for a job hunt. The first question that comes up, apart from the pay, would be what is the working hours? What is the balance between work and life? Well, in the lighter vein, one of my friends once mentioned that he has only seen his children grow long and not tall. The reason being, most of the times he only sees them sleeping, lying on the bed or on the floor. So he only sees them growing long and not, tall. And that's what one of my friends told. And in another case, a boss actually had found the solution to work-life balance, $1 million question, right? He said, Why don't you make work itself as your life, and then you'll start seeing work and life in perfect harmony. So these are the various light vein topics going around around work and life. Actually, see how to tackle this issue in this fashion. It's going to be in a much different way that we're going to listen to. It is through spirituality. That said, it's my utmost honor and privilege to introduce the speaker for the day, Sister Aruna. Welcome, Sister Aruna, to our forum here. And first of all, thank you so much. You have made time out of your schedule to speak to us. And indeed, we are very fortunate to have you in your virtual presence among us. So for the rest of us who do not know about you, Sister Aruna is an author, a blogger, and a meditation teacher. For over 37 years, she has been practicing meditation and has become an accomplished spiritual author. She's fortunate to have the blend of two cultures, the East and the West. She was born in Kenya, educated in England, worked in Canada, and has lived in various other parts of the world and travels regularly to India. Her writing was inspired by the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris, where she studied the gentle art of Raja Yoga meditation. She is one of their experienced and dedicated teachers, helping to promote this yogic art. She also facilitates retreats and trainings and various self-development projects, and she manages them all. Sister Aruna's clear intellect and insight helps to convey spiritual wisdom in a way that's very easy and accessible, with a style and language that can be understood by all. She has authored so far 8 books. Let me repeat, 8, and has been writing a weekly blog ever since on her website, itstimetoMeditate.org. Let me repeat, itstimetoMeditate.org. In November 2014, she also received a Women of Excellence Award from the Yoga Federation of India for her contribution to the social work. She has helped to establish meditation centers wide across the globe in Canada, Turkey, and Kuwait. Her interest in the study of the self has led her to explore different ways of creating a peaceful life through the balance of a dairy-free lifestyle combined with meditation. Dairy-free lifestyle. Very interesting. As a certified negotiator, peace and harmony, in our own way, we indeed are fortunate to have you in our virtual presence today. We thank you for taking out your time. Over to you, Sister Aruna. Jai Hind,
Yes,
and thank you.
Jai Hind and Om Shanti. And thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you, Mr. Sriram. And also to everybody on the committee that is in this Institute of Chartered Accountants in India, chapter of Kuwait. So I'm also happy to be back in Kuwait now after lockdown. And so happy to be part of this. Thank you for arranging it. And this is a very lovely topic, the role of spirituality in our life. I think everybody, whether one is working or at home, needs to adhere to let's say, the laws of spirituality if we are to be happy, if we are to be at peace in our life. And so I thought the first thing I would do is really just maybe give a little overview of what we are conceptions of spirituality. So spirituality, as the word says, spirit, it is the study of the soul. Spirituality is at the root of everything we do. In fact, even if we look at all the religions, every religion, at the core of its religion, will have a spiritual root, which means that it's almost like a neutral root, because it can be encompassing of every faith. It can be encompassing of all different ideas. So spirituality in itself is not a religion. The best example I can give is, let's say you have a wheel, okay? You have a wheel, and then in the middle, you have another little wheel, and then you have the spokes. So the spokes are the different religions, but at the root of that, which is holding them together, is the core wheel, which is the core of spirituality. So having said that, when I said it's the study of the soul, it's actually the study of how the soul functions. So I think let's first come to the same page. So we're not on different, we are something more than just this physical body, right? Even when psychology speaks, it talks about the psyche and the body. So in other words, the mind and the body. So basically we are a sum combination of, well, as they say, mind and matter, but we say soul, atma, ruh, and the body. So what would be the, you need a spark, you need a light, you need the connection to the electricity, you need a phone, you need the charge in that phone for it to work. So in the same way, when this charge in the body goes, that's it. We deem the body dead. Dead means no charge. It means the battery is finished. And what is that battery? The battery is the soul. Now we also know, and this is very intrinsic in Hinduism, that the soul is eternal. The soul is eternal. The soul does not die. No fire can burn the soul, no water can drown the soul, no sword can cut the soul. The soul is eternal. So what does that mean? So that means today I could be in this existence, tomorrow I could be in another existence. The soul is eternal. So study of the soul, study of spirituality is the soul. Now, this is the important message today, really. We need to start working on the soul. And I'm not going to say don't have ambition, don't have drive, don't aspire for promotions. I'm not going to say that. You can do all that, but don't leave the soul behind. Take your soul with you as you want to, climb the social strata. Because as we work on the soul, as we apply virtue and power to the soul, that is what actually helps us in our life. So go back to that picture of the wheel. As I give energy to the core, then everything else begins to work automatically. And this is the experience of many people who have been practicing meditation, who have been practicing a Raj Yoga lifestyle. So I want to talk about some of the concepts of spirituality. Now, when we say apply spirituality or applied spirituality, what do we mean by that? So let's take, for example, attachment, okay? Now, in order to really live and work in peace and happiness, there has to be a certain sense of detachment from what we're doing. If I get too caught up in what I'm doing, then I can't see the full view. I can't see the broad spectrum. And so I will have blinkers. I'll only see this, let's say, this one piece of the jigsaw puzzle, and I'll begin to think that that is my world. But if I just step away and then I start to see the bigger picture, then I can take a more clearer decision, right? Isn't that the idea, that I have all perspectives, and then from that place, I'm able to take the right decision for me, and hopefully one that I will not regret. So let's say that when I detach, in fact, we have a very nice expression here. We say detached observer, sakshipan in Hindi. That doesn't mean like literally I walk away. No. It means with my mind, what's happening, but let me try and just step a few inches away from it. And let me just allow the outcome to unfold rather than to try and control it, rather than to suffocate it or sabotage it. Let me just step away and let me see. Let me see how things can go without my control. And so this ability to really step away is that inner power from spirituality, rather than to just jump in and, you know, always have to comment, always have to criticize, always have to complain. This doesn't work. This doesn't work in the long run. It might in the short term, but it doesn't in the long term. And so, yeah, let us try this sense of detachment, okay, in what we're doing. If you don't understand, I'm open to detachment. Is one of those spiritual that I'd like you to encourage. In the same way, I'm going to mention a few. And let's see how we get on. The other is this concept of slave story of Huzruddin Hoja, this teacher. Friends, they're sitting on the balcony and they're just having chat with the cow. And he's got the cow on a rope and he's holding the rope. So, who here? So they all laughed and, you know, they thought it's a silly question. So they said, of course, the man is in charge of the cow. And so Huzruddin says, well, what if the rope would, and they said, well, the cow would run or run away. And he said, then what would the man do? And he said he would run after the cow. Do you see? So he would run after the cow means I become a slave to the cow. So the cow is just symbolic of the things in our life, the things that, you know, the things that we hold on to, thinking, claiming to be mine, and thinking that I own this thing, and who's in charge of who. So this is where I stir things rather than being a slave to them. And again, we do this with our thoughts, not physical control. And of course, definitely not physical abuse. Here, mental. I have this mental power to say, you know what, I'm not going to allow anything out there to control me. If I am being controlled by something, that means I'm a slave to it. And this could be anything. It could be from TVs to phones to clothes, houses, money, anything. If it's there, it's wonderful. Let me enjoy it. Totally. Let me enjoy it whilst it's there. But when it's not there, how do I feel? This is the question. Or will it? Now, if I sit here expecting that the flower should stay there for the whole year, is that wise of me to do that? No. Anything that is natural, in direction, change form, this is only natural in life. So I cannot hold on to things expecting that things will be the same forever. So in other words, as a master, I'm able to just, rather than to try, a master is giving me. And then slave, of course, means not to give in, right? The slave always gives in. And the slave gives in because I'm weak inside. Because I'm not full from inside, then this is why I'm always seeking things from outside to fill me up. And for how long? How long? And think about it. Go back to the soul. The soul is a component of light. And this is matter, okay? So if this is matter, how can material things fulfill the soul? Whereas this car, watch, whatever, is making me happy. It's an illusion. It's not. I think, I believe it makes me happy. But my real happiness is actually from deep within, from deep down. In fact, let me quote Dan Gilbert. I think some of you might have heard his TED talk. And I even had his book here. Right, Stumbling Upon Happiness. Some of you might have read that. And to them as well. In case some of you are interested, I'll bring the next one up. But anyway, regarding Dan Gilbert, and he's got a lovely talk, TED talk, and he's basically saying that people have this illusion that, and it's not really the case. Because even after they have children, they're not really as happy. In fact, they're happy when they're away from the children than when they have the children. And marriage only makes us somewhat happy. Yes, marriage makes us somewhat happy, but not that much happier if we were single. So anyway, just to point out that we live by these illusions to us that this is the way to live life. Now, I'm not asking you to become a saint and go live in the Himalayas, but I do encourage you to live by, let's take this leadership quality, okay? So again, somebody who's a leader, and again, versus the slave. Leader means the one who's leading from within. The slave is one that's leading from without, from something out there. If I cannot lead my feelings, my thoughts, emotions from inside, how can I expect to lead the people that are around me? So for this leadership, let's take, for example, anger management. How can I tell the other person to do as I want them to do? What is anger? What is anger? Anger is, basically anger is us trying to control something, but we are failing to control it. For the anger, I've been hurt, I've been insulted, maybe I've been rejected. Something has happened to trigger that anger. So I have to manage, this is spirituality, managing the emotion. If I'm able to make proper response, and as I give a proper response out of anger, just simply react, then what's going to be the outcome? There's going to be conflict. So this was my other point, actually. Conflict versus harmony. Spirituality means harmony. So as I'm able to think the right thoughts, take the right decision, do the right deed, then what is spirituality? Spirituality is when your thoughts, words, and deeds are in alignment. Your thoughts, what you say is what you do. This is spirituality. Okay? So I hope I've kind of given you a little bit of a picture of how we see when we come to work-life balance. Actually, it's not about, actually, to be honest, when you are a soul, okay, you're a soul everywhere, whether you're at home or whether you're at work. It's just a different hat that we put on. So let me give you an example. If for example, let's say I'm at home, I'm married, I have children. Okay, I wake up and I say hello to them. I wish them a happy day. But just before I leave, I have an argument with my spouse over something trivial, okay? Something silly. I didn't do something, I didn't get something. There's going to be this chain of thoughts. Why did she say that? Why did he say that? How dare she speak to me like that? I don't want to be doing this anymore. I don't know, whatever, a number of waste thoughts, okay? Now, be careful, that could also affect your driving. Because if you're caught up in your negativity, it's so easy to have focus. Okay, so be careful what you're thinking about. Okay, so you have these waste thoughts, and now you come to work. So, but before you enter the building, what happens to you subconsciously? You have to move away from that argument and now get into this executive role. Now you have to start, you know, being whatever your job is. You have to start being that role. So subconsciously, what have you done? You've changed hats in between, from being a husband or a wife. On the way, you've changed the hat to now becoming a boss or a leader or a whatever, officer, whatever. And now your thoughts will start to work along those lines. But inside, have you changed? You're still the same person, right? The role has changed. And this is where we have to draw this distinction between I and the role. Okay, so I hold that behind, and maybe there's other conflicts at work that I have to address. And then when I go back to going home, I'll start that tape again, that recording from the morning. And I know that when I get home, I'm going to have to face that conversation again. So again, I'm changing hats, I'm changing roles, and I start, like, my point is that if you are a CEO of a company, can you be the CEO of your, she'll say, take a ride, right? So no, the point is that at home, you are the husband. At home, you are the son, okay? But at work, you are the CEO. So different roles bring out different character traits from within us, right? Different roles bring out different character traits from within us. And that's wonderful. That is really wonderful. But now, again, what I'm going to suggest is with every role that you play, I'd like you to add a virtue. For example, conflict is over. And okay, yeah, let me say before I forget that on my blog, I have a book called Conflict Resolution, and that is available as a free download for whoever would like to use it. You can download it and print it. And I mean, that's really my gift to the world. If the conflict can be reduced because of that, then all blessings to me. So really take that as a gift. There's lots of good ideas. Okay, so let's say day two. Day two, now you realize you've done a little meditation, and so what? Okay, I'm going to stay peaceful no matter what. So your spouse, again, either way, the husband or the wife says something, but you decide, no, I'm going to stick to my inner peace. I'm going to ignore that comment. And you know what? With meditation, you have the power to ignore it and not just, you know, blurt something out. Okay. Then you get into your car, still saying to yourself, I'm a peaceful soul. I'm a peaceful soul. You get to work. I'm a peaceful CEO, right? I'm a peaceful cleaner. I'm a peaceful secretary. So now the emphasis is on the virtue and not on the role. And this is the big step we have to take. I have to be the being and not the doer. Yeah, we say human being, not human doer. So when I'm in the being means what? Being means I'm being the virtue or the quality. Okay, let me take another example, okay, that maybe you heard me say, some of you who listen to my talks, because it's very appropriate. So especially working people, they believe, okay, that if I do, this is the formula for life, right? If I do, I have, and I be. So if I work hard, right? If I'm doing a lot, I'm working hard, then I can have the money, I can have the power, the clout, and be whatever. And the premise of spirituality is what, right? I think some of you smart people have figured it out. It's the opposite, okay? So you have to be, and then you will have, and you can do. Honestly, and we have so many, even in the worldly examples, we have examples of people who just have such a beautiful attitude, wonderful attitude, positive attitude. Okay, there's a story of a shoe shine boy, and everybody goes to him to shine their shoes, not to shine their shoes, but just to pick up his attitude in the morning, because his attitude is so contagious. And he says, I feel so great, and if I felt even better, I would have another twin, you know? So basically, it's his energy. People go for that energy. Now, who wouldn't want to help somebody like that? So this is what I mean. When you have a positive attitude, positive aura, you know, a powerful personality, then everybody comes to help you. The universe conspires. The universe will say, help this person, because he knows what to do with whatever we will give him. He's got the aptitude, he's got the attitude, he's smart enough to figure life out. So the universe just brings things to you. And then, so you have, right? You be, you have, and then you can do, you can achieve what you want. So this is something we have to keep in mind. And really, if we work in this formula, then we are not running after the rat race. See, the thing about the rat race is even at the end of the race, you're still a rat, right? So be careful, because I can get what I want. I can get everything. I can get my millions. I can get my property, etc. But does money buy happiness? Does money buy peace? No. And so this is spirituality. This is why I have to go back to spirituality. Okay? So once again, I really want to emphasize there's nothing wrong with having all of these worldly pleasures, but so long as they don't control you, so long as you. So again, there was a man, and he said, you know what, I'm not really very happy. Let me go to my guru and see if he, and of course, as all sages, the sage has nothing, he's sitting under a tree. And so he goes, I have many things, but still I'm not happy. So the sage says, well, I don't know how to help you, but you see that tree over there? There's a stone under that tree. And if you like that stone, take it. Maybe it will make you happy. He went over to the tree, the bottom of the tree. He found amongst the rocks, and now he found one stone. Now, it wasn't just an ordinary stone. It was a diamond, right? Like this size diamond. And he thought, this is for me. So he went back to the sage. He said, this is for me. And the sage said, yeah, if it will make you happy, take it. He said, of course, this will make me very happy. He said, take it. Okay. So as he took it, right, as he's going home, right, he thought, oh, you know what? Better not let everybody see it. So he hides it under his jacket or cloak, whatever. Then just before getting into the house, he thought, I better not tell my mom, better not tell my wife, because, you know, women talk a lot, right? So he thought, okay, I better not tell them that I have this diamond. So he entered without telling them that he had this. Then he tried to hide it somewhere. Now, where can he hide it? Because even the maid, she cleans and she look everywhere to clean. Anyway, he found a place. I don't know where, but he found a place to hide it. Then he goes to work every day. Now, what do you think he's thinking about when he goes to work? This diamond. All the time he's thinking, oh, I hope somebody doesn't steal this diamond. I hope somebody doesn't steal. I hope the maid doesn't find out. I hope my wife doesn't find out. And he just is stressed by the end of the week, trying to keep this diamond. So what did he do? He lost his peace. He got what he wanted, but by getting it, he lost his peace. This is the point. We can have everything we want, but the art is to hold on to our peace. What did he do at the end of the week? He went back. He said to the sage, Sage, here you are. Thank you so much. And what did the sage say? Go and put it back under the tree so that the next person could learn their lesson. Yeah. So really, this is spirituality, and this is different from religion, because let me tell you that even in our home in London, we had like a half a wall with all the temple. It was a sing. We had all the musical instruments. We still have, and the temple. And I remember going in front of this temple, and I remember asking my mom. I said, "Mom, these deities, right? These devtas." I said, "They are in human bodies, just like us. What's the difference?" And at that time, she couldn't tell me. But after Raj Yoga and understanding, she said, these human beings have divine. So the person, why I'm saying this, is every single divine virtue. This is how we say that they are a devta. The other day I was talking about kindness to another group. Spirituality is such a difference. Spirituality is about taking that extra mile, that extra minute, and saying, okay, let me go out of my way to do something for this person. Even corporates are doing social corporate responsibility because they realize all our income shouldn't just be for us. Let us donate. Let us be charitable. Spirituality, let's come to that, which is one of your main points. So what I would suggest, okay, what I would suggest is before you go to work, you must take some time out for yourself. There's got to be an aspect of, let's say, self-preparation. I call it self-preparation. You have a whole day ahead of you. You have many people that you're going to face. Are you ready to face each and every one of them? Do you have something to give to each and report or money? I mean, something of yourself from inside. When you are feeling full in the morning and then you go to work, then work will be a joy. The reason why we get tired going to work is because we're already feeling empty. We're feeling depleted. So in the morning, please, I encourage you to wake up 10, 15 minutes, half an hour earlier than what you wake up. Just wash your face, sit down, and I'd like you to just sit and talk to yourself in a very kind and loving way. And I'd like you to create very positive and powerful thoughts. And I'd like you to just have that bit of self-love, self-appreciation, and encourage yourself that really whatever is to come today, you will have the power to deal with it. Now, when you leave home with that kind of mindset, then you're ready to face any challenge. See, why is there also this conflict that happens on the road, at work, whatever? It's because we don't have the powers of tolerance. We don't have the power to cooperate. We don't have the power to accommodate. And the ego always says, no, you should do it first, right? When you're in a small road and there's a car coming towards you and there's your car, who's going to give way first? Who's going to be the first one to say, okay, I'm going to get to the side, or I'm going to reverse, and you have your way? Who's going to say that? So it's going to be the one who's going to be full from inside, because they will have the power to adjust, because they have realized that there is more peace and happiness in the adjusting, not in the arrogance. You see? So first thing is, yeah, to fill up, okay? So this is from home to work. Okay, then when you're at work, as I said, you have to keep coming back to filling the self. It's like going to the petrol station again and again, because the fuel runs out, right? How much we pay attention that our phone should stay charged. And now everybody not only carries a phone, but they carry a memory bank. You know what I mean? This charger, this charging bank. So that at no point should the battery run out. So what about the battery of the soul? Okay, so in the daytime, I would suggest we even have an app. We have several apps that are called traffic control. And this is to help to control the traffic of your mind. Because at the traffic light, you have to stop when it's red. You have to stop no matter what. So here, in the same way, when the music gets played every hour, every 2 hours, you can set it. Music gets played for 1 minute, and you stop what you're doing, and you just check the traffic of your mind. Is this what I should be thinking about? Is this what's going to help me, or is this what is draining me of all my energy and all my power? And then I kind of fine tune it. I set it. I say, no, let me be more positive. Let me give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay? And then I set myself on course again until the next traffic control and the next traffic control. And not only that, but again, spirituality at work. And we have many, projects like this. And so spirituality at work is really trying to zoom in on each one's speciality. What is the speciality of this one and this one and this one? And think about it. When you see the speciality of someone, you will become a special soul. This is what we are also seeing. People who are able to encourage other people's specialities, they become great in themselves. Look at the opposite. The opposite, if I'm talking negative about you, then chances are people are talking negative about me. Because this is the stone that I have thrown, right? And this is the ripple effect it's going to have. So let me at work really try, and everybody must have. I know some of you might say, well, I know some people and they don't have any virtues. No, I don't agree. Every single soul has a virtue, have to find their speciality. Yeah. And when I do that, honestly, you will be loved, you will be blessed, and that person will remember you forever and ever. Okay, now this was the other book, right? Stephen Covey. I'm sure some of you, it's an old book. But see, in this 8th habit, this is what Stephen Covey talks about, and that is the listening to your inner voice. He defines spiritual, he's saying in this book, right? So 8th habit, effectiveness to greatness. If you want to be great, then you have to apply this 8th habit, which is to bring spirituality into your life. And he quotes in that there were many leaders, and people were questioned, what is the main quality you would like to see in your leader? And the quality was integrity. In other words, people want the honesty, the authenticity, that what you say is what you do. This is also spirituality. You're not saying something else and doing something else. So really, when I'm at work, let me do, this builds a camaraderie. This builds a unity, because then people begin to trust what I say, and they'll begin to feel that I can be responsible. So listening to your inner voice, what spirituality he's talking about is listen to your inner voice. Each one of us have deep inside of us this sound that says, this is right, this is wrong. That is spirituality. Why should we need the police to tell us what to do? Why should we need governments to tell us what to do? Why should we need religions to tell us what to do? It's because we've stopped listening to our own inner voice. Our inner voice knows what is the right. We know we shouldn't hurt. We know we shouldn't give sorrow. We know we shouldn't take something from somebody else that is not ours. We know all this, but we lack the power to do it. Okay, so in meditation, through meditation, I'm able to really capture that power. I'm able to bring that into my life. And then, of course, as we say, we are happy and peaceful. And these are the two qualities that everybody seeks in the world. Think about everything that you do. You do because of the belief that it's going to bring you peace, it's going to bring you happiness, right? Why do you go to work? Why do you do the work you do? Why do you have your friends? Why do you eat what you eat? Because you have the belief that this will make me a happier and more peaceful person. Okay, so all the choices we're making are centered around finding peace and happiness. But what I'm saying to you is it's already here inside of us. And we just need to give it more light. We just need to water that every day, and it automatically comes out into our life. Okay, then when you come back home from work, again in the evening meditation is also a very lovely meditation. So we do meditation at dawn and at dusk. And in this meditation, what I'd like you to do is just reflect on your day and ask yourself, could you have done anything different in the day? Maybe you spoke to somebody with a certain tone. Maybe you took a long time doing something, whatever. Is there any little change you could make tomorrow from today and improve on your day and improve in yourself? Because once we do this check, we change. Yeah? Check and change. Check and change. Don't just keep checking. If you keep checking, you get hopeless, disheartened. But check, and then tomorrow, change. And in this way, we challenge ourselves. As we challenge ourselves, this is how we become better people. And then just one last thing before going to bed. And again, few minutes, because your subconscious, this is very important. Your subconscious is going to be programming your soul. So whatever's in your subconscious, right, is going to tell your soul. So if, for example, your subconscious is saying that you're not good enough, you're terrible, look what you did today, that record is going to play throughout in your soul, and that's going to affect your thinking and your decision making. So again, that's why I'm saying at night, it's very important to sit, 10 minutes, 15 minutes with yourself alone, And again, just feed the subconscious what you want it to believe. So you could say things like, I'm a great soul, I'm a powerful soul. In fact, let's do a little meditation now, and then I'm happy to take questions after that. Okay, so I'd just like you to sit comfortably, just 5 minutes. I know some of you may not have done any meditation, it doesn't matter. Just sit comfortably, and I'm going to give a little commentary slowly. And I just want you to follow that in your mind, okay? So imagine that as I speak, you are saying that to yourself quietly in your mind. So take a deep breath, sit comfortably. So first and foremost, I realize that I am more than just this body. I am a soul, that spark, that electricity. And I am eternal. This is the important thing. I, the soul, am eternal. No fire can burn me, no water can drown me. I'd really like you to feel that you will live forever and ever. This body will go back to dust, but I will live forever. And now I'd like you to really feel that separation between I and mine. I, the soul, and this is my body. I am not the body. This is my body. Just draw a line between the two, a subtle line in your mind. And now from this place, you can become a detached observer. So now I, the soul, am looking at this body. And the body is just like a puppet. Okay, so I set the body aside for a moment. I come back to the self. And I'd just like you to repeat this in your mind with conviction. I am powerful. I am strong. I am special. Everything I need, I have right here inside of me. I am capable. I am generous. I am kind. And as you think of these virtues, I would like you to see yourself in that action. So I am kind. I am patient. And now I'd like you to see what is your greatest strength. What is your greatest quality? Each one of us has come into this world with a special blessing, a special virtue. What do you think is your special quality? And this quality comes naturally to you. You don't have to make effort for it. Maybe you're a good listener, a good carer. Maybe you're calm and patient. Maybe you're quick. Now, this one quality will give birth to many other qualities. Just keep watering that quality. But see it as your quality, your inner strength. Om Shanti. And I wanted to end with this quote. Raise your words, not your voice, for it is rain that grows flowers and not thunder. Raise your words, not your voice, for it is rain that grows flowers and not thunder. So this aspect of being very gentle with the self and very kind and caring with the self first. So I will stop here and I'm happy to take any questions if anybody has or comments.
Sister Aruna, thank you so much. Actually, in fact, I myself, very personally, I can say it feels so peaceful inside, having from the time we started and as I see it now, it's absolutely very peaceful. And, no words to express it. And thank you so much. I've got a few questions in the Q&A box, so I would read it out to you.
Sure.
So one of our participants wants to know how to relate job satisfaction vis-a-vis spirituality. So that's the simple question there. So if there's anything which you could throw light on.
How do we relate job satisfaction vis-a-vis spirituality?
That's right.
Yes, see, I guess my answer to that would be, my answer is that I am happy no matter what. Okay? So sure, there may be certain jobs that are not fitting for you. Like even some of us, maybe we might think I'm not a good fit for this country. I should be in another country. Okay. But I can't keep changing jobs. I can't keep changing countries in the hope to be happy. Do you see? So what I am trying to say is first try to be happy with what you have. Because I always say, if you're not happy with a little, you will not be happy with a lot. Because it's the habit of being happy. It's the habit of accepting what is there. So this is where spirituality comes in. First, try to be happy with your job from inside out. Don't try to make things perfect and then be happy. Try to be happy and go to work. Not if I go to work, I'm happy. Do you see? This is where spirituality comes in. And yes, if after some time, if you feel that you've tried it and it doesn't work, then okay, try to change, but don't just give up immediately without doing that inner work.
Thank you. There's just one more question, which, okay, there are two more questions. Okay, the one upcoming one is relating to money, which you already explained during the course of your talking to us. But however, I'd like to read it once more, so in case if you would want to reiterate that. So money is a means, so the participant is saying, money is a means to help others. If you have money and wealth, you can reach out to so many more people, make a positive difference in the world. To make that money, you have to sacrifice your time, energy, and sometimes mental peace. But in the need, if you can help humanity, so what I think he means to say is that in the end, if you can help humanity, is it not worth it? So that is a long story short. What he says is money is still worth making because, you know, it has so much of other positiveness also around it. Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, but you have to weigh up. You have to weigh up how much peace of mind you're willing to risk or lose in order to earn that much money. And also, I mean, if many are from India, you would know. There are many sages and saints doing a lot of seva without any money.
We are all
So
from
money,
India. Yeah.
Exactly. So my point is, we already know that you don't necessarily need money to do the seva. Yes, if it's there and you do it. And now this is the other point, you see, and we often quote this here also. So what happens is somebody has a very strong thought in the morning. Okay, you know what, today I'm going to donate 1,000 dinars to whichever club, this organization, church, temple, whatever. Okay. By midday, no, I think 500 is enough. I think they're doing quite well off. So I think 500 is enough, you know. And then by the afternoon, well, I have a lot of expenses this month. Maybe I'll reduce it to 200. Do you see? So although we may have good intention to do well with our money, but with time, that gets diluted. So right now we might be saying, yes, I want to earn a lot so I can do a lot of charity. But when the rubber hits the road, can I give, as I said I would give? That we have to wait and see. So my point to you is, yeah, money is good, no doubt. Money makes the world go round. But I would not lose my peace and happiness for that. I'd rather, and actually that's another thing that Stephen Covey is talking about. Actually, I read this book many years ago, but I remember this is one of the things he's talking about, and that is more and more people, in order to live spiritual lives, they will be willing to forfeit their income. In other words, they would prefer to work 3 or 4 days a week so that they could have 3-4 days for sanity and have a more spiritual life. So he's already mentioned that like 10-15 years ago. So I'm sure that's happening now. More and more people prefer to earn less but stay more peaceful.
Thank you so much. Just one last question. So you talked about not giving up. So just in relation to that, one of our parts is written to all dimensions. So what I would possibly rephrase it to say, how to stay with self-confidence at all times and maybe at all dimensions.
Well, see, where does the self-confidence come from? It really, this is, I mean, many studies, many psychological studies have been done on this. Self-confidence comes from a sense of self. If you really believe you know who you are, this is where self-confidence comes from. you know, like if you don't believe in yourself, you won't have the confidence. If you don't believe you can do it, you won't have the confidence. If you don't believe you have, you won't have the confidence. So it's all to do with the role of spirituality is so important, because when I start, and really, let me tell you, I started as a teenager, and this helped me so much in my teenage years, where I was being put off like that. But then as soon as I started to meditate, there was an energy that came in me. And I just stood up for myself. You know, I was inviting a fight or anything. No. But from inside, they could just feel my confidence, and they dared not come to me. So what I'm saying is, it's an energetic thing. When you start to feel yourself being empowered from inside out, that is the self-confidence, and that is what overflows into everything you do, because you put that power into everything you do, the power of belief, the power of believing yourself to be successful, the power that this will be fruitful, this will bring success. It's the powerful thought that you put into that action, and that is self-confidence, you see. So again, with meditation, I can rehearse these thoughts in my mind again and again and again. So when I actually have to come to do it, it's there. The pattern is there. But really try every day to just have those positive affirmations about the self, about, you know, your life. Visualize something. Say you have a project, visualize that project and keep saying it's going to be successful. Give energy into it. It works. It really works.
Well, thank you.
Actually, this is all also about law of attraction. You see, law of attraction is you are attracting that which you are sending out. So if I, with my confidence, am saying, yes, I deserve this, and I have so many examples of that, really. But you have to put the work in. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. So thank you. Formalize the vote of thanks for us. Deepak, over to you.
Thank you. You're muted.
Deepak, you need to unmute yourself.
Yes. On 15th August 1947, we got freedom from Britishers. And I hope on 15th August 2020, we get freedom from attachment, anger, and we develop self-confidence. So, before we were joining in for today's session, most of us had thought that we would learn how to achieve work-life balance by practicing spirituality, what we were hoping from this talk. Spirituality brings balance to our entire life and not just the work life. Hope we all will be able to achieve and sync our thoughts, words, and deeds as you explained. You have given definitely the one which I picked up, aligning our thoughts, words, and action. If these are aligned, we can balance work and life. So thank you. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. I go to your blogs and I go to, I have listened to you in many other platforms, and it's always something new I get. The more I listen, the more it clarifies. Thank you for your time and efforts. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Like here, I'm really sorry to interrupt here. We have just a last minute question from one of our participants, and since we have time, I think I'll break the protocol of going to a question after the vote of thanks as well. All right. So the participant wants to know, ma'am, you talked about detachment. It is not that easy to simply change hats and get into other role. So how do we develop this? So this is the question from one of
Yeah,
our
no,
participants.
of course it's not easy. None of this is easy. But who can climb Mount Everest? Who gets to the top of Mount Everest? It's the one who puts in that effort, the preparation. But once you get to the top, the view is awesome, right? So definitely it's not easy. But what motivates the person to get to Mount Everest, the top of Mount Everest, is some motivation. And so you have to keep for yourself some motivation. Why should you be detached? Because being attached has given us a lot of pain. Because being attached, try something else. Try another way to be. And I'm not asking you to leave your home. This is very important. When I say detachment, it's not about becoming. Raj Yoga meditation says, be like a lotus. So the lotus grows in the mud, right? But it always stays above it. So in other words, we live in the world where there are many things, many challenges, but we stay slightly above it, like the lotus, right? Nothing of the dirt touches the lotus, and the lotus keeps its beauty. So this is what I'm asking you to do, is keep yourself a very good motivation, and know that really by staying, and let me give you another example of one of the Arab sisters here. So she has a daughter. This was a few years ago now. And so this daughter was not doing so well at school. And of course, you know how the mentality is that, oh, if she doesn't do well, then the family name is spoiled and all of this, right? And it's a Kuwaiti family and all this. So this mother is practicing meditation, and then she starts applying the knowledge. And then one of the other themes that we talk about is that every soul has its own part, has its own role. So she starts to see her daughter not as her daughter, but as another character in this drama. That this character just happens to be her daughter in this play. And honestly, I mean, you can speak to her, you can come here and speak to her because it's a real story. So she starts to see her not as her daughter, like not mine. Remember I said my daughter, my this, not as my daughter, but that this is a soul with another part, another character playing the same drama with me in this house. And something made a shift in the daughter where I don't know, she felt maybe, you know, she wasn't being controlled or managed or whatever. And she started to do much better at school, and she started to get better grades. So really this detachment not only helps me, but helps those around me, because now they don't feel suffocated. You see, they don't feel like she probably, you know, felt the pressure off, that now mom was not, you know, wanting her to be somebody, but just allowing her to be who she was. So detachment is a very big subject, but all I can say is once you practice it, once you feel the benefit, you will want to do more of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much from all of us from the CA here. We will strive our best to at least, you know, start putting into practice whatever you said in very small ways and probably reach the heights eventually. Thank you so
And
much again from all of us.
let me add that once we're open to be open, you're all more than welcome to come and be with us, do meditation, have a session here. We invite you to the meditation center.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So thanks to all the participants and the attendees. So we are closing the call now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.